The heart is a muscle that continuously pumps blood throughout the body. To do its job, heart muscle need oxygen and nutrients which are supplied by blood vessels called coronary arteries. The arteries and their branches wrap up around the surface of heart. Your blood acts as a transport carrying oxygen, cholesterol and blood cells and other substances to all of the organ in your body. From 2012 and 13 data of Public Health Agency of Canada's Canadian Chronic Disease Surveillance indicate that about 1 in 12 Canadian adults aged 20 and over live with diagnosed heart disease. Every hour, about 12 Canadian adults aged 20 and over with diagnosed heart disease die. Men are 2 times more likely to suffer from a heart attack than women. Men are newly diagnosed with heart disease about 10 years younger than women.
Coronary artery disease is the most common type of heart disease. The coronary arteries supply blood, oxygen, and nutrients to the heart. A buildup of plaque can narrow these arteries, decreasing the blood flow to your heart. Eventually, the reduced blood flow may cause chest pain, angina, shortness of breath, or other coronary artery disease signs and symptoms. A complete blockage can cause a heart attack.
Hi everyone, here I am going to talk about the causes of coronary artery disease. First one is smoking. As we know that the chemicals from the cigarette damages the walls of the arteries which eventually develop plaques. It also thickens the blood and cause blood clots. Second one is high blood pressure where it gives more stress and pressure to the walls of the arteries resulting in tearing. Then plaque will be developed. High cholesterol in our blood also caused. These fatty substances of in our blood will stay on the walls of the arteries and develop plaques. Lastly, the sedentary lifestyle and the diabetes increases the plaque formation. These increases the fats in our blood and finally plaque will be developed.
Coronary artery disease is caused by a combination of genetic and lifestyle factors. These are called risk factors. Many of them can be controllable and others which are not under our control, that is called non-modifiable risk factors. We have several factors like age as a person gets older, the risk of having coronary artery disease increases. Gender. It is said that men are at high risk as compared to women over the age of 55 years. In ethnicity, First Nation people and African and Asian descent are at high risk of developing heart disease. Lastly, family history. Family history of heart disease is associated with high risk of coronary artery disease, especially if any of our close relative develop heart disease at an early age. So chances of getting coronary artery disease is higher in that person. If your father or brother was diagnosed with any of heart disease before the age of 55, or similarly if your mother or sister developed any heart disease before the age of 65 years, so there is higher chances of developing coronary artery disease. Aside from the non-modifiable risk factors, we also have the modifiable risk factors, which include the hypertension, hyperlipidemia, diabetes mellitus, smoking, obesity, and lifestyle changes. These things can be controlled where it shows coronary artery disease can be prevented.
Over time, the risk factors can cause the lining of the arteries to be damaged, which form a plaque deposit, and this condition is called the atherosclerosis. In the first picture, this is what a normal artery looks like. The blood that carries oxygen, nutrients, blood cells, and cholesterol flows freely. However, when the arteries are damaged, plaque starts to develop. Once your arteries are damaged, the cholesterol starts to coat the inside of the damaged arteries, sending signals that white blood cells are needed. However, this is only add more of the size of the plaque deposit. Over time, the arteries become inflexible and hardened. The patient will still be asymptomatic, not until the patient will start to feel chest pain during activity. This is caused by the decreased blood flow going to the heart, which makes the heart exert more in pumping during activity, and this is called the stable angina. This kind of angina is relieved by rest. The second type of angina is this unstable angina, which where the cause of the chest pain is progressive. This is caused by the increased narrowing of the arteries, and it is not relieved by rest or nitroglycerin, which indicated that this is an emergency situation. And then when the arteries are fully blocked, no blood will go to the heart and it causes heart attack. And you should remember the signs of heart attack that I will mention: chest pain, pain that spread down to arm, neck, jaw, or shoulders, paleness, sweating, or weakness, nausea, vomiting, or possible indigestion, anxiety, or fear. Tests commonly used to detect the coronary arteries. One is ECG. This test identifies problems with heart rhythm or signs of heart attack. Second is a treadmill test. This is to measure how well the heart functions when challenged to work harder than normal during exercise. The nuclear perfusion imaging is to identify the areas of the heart that are receiving less blood. Echocardiogram is to determine the blood volume pumped by the heart. And then the CT coronary angiography and cardiac catheterization is to identify the blocked or restricted arteries in the heart. There are many medications that can help coronary artery disease. The doctor will likely prescribe you a combination of medications that will help to lower the workload of your heart, lower cholesterol, help relax the blood vessels, prevent blood clot from forming, and lower the overall risk of having heart attack. The other treatment that can be done is angioplasty. This is used to widen the areas with coronary arteries that have become narrowed. Also, the coronary artery bypass surgery. This is used to treat symptoms of coronary artery disease that do not improve with the other treatment that I have said a while ago. This procedure is uh, blood vessels are removed from another part of the body and used to create a new route for the heart's blood supply to bypass blockages in the coronary arteries. This will allow the oxygen-rich blood to reach the heart.
Lifestyle changes and prevention. There are different ways to manage and prevent coronary arteries disease. This includes smoking cessation, including exercise in your daily activity, modifying your meal from high fat to low fat, and from high carb diet to low carb diet, such as green vegetables like broccoli, spinach, cabbage, salmon, avocado, and fruits like berries. This will help to manage the cholesterol level, and it also will be helpful to manage your weight. Maintaining your blood pressure into normal and managing your stress level can be beneficial. Avoid sugar and sugary food intake as much as possible to control the blood sugar level. All of these lifestyle changes can be helpful to manage the disease and prevent for further complications.
Nursing management of a patient suffering from CAD. Firstly, we will educate patient about the progression of the disease condition, its treatment and medication. For the progression of disease condition, we can teach patient about the pathophysiology of the disease condition, and further how to prevent and manage the anginal attacks. Secondly, we will teach patient about the significance and complication. For significance, we will teach patient about the cholesterol levels. We can teach patient about the significance of the periodic laboratory measurements. Third, we will educate patient about the modification of the lifestyle, such as if patient is a smoker, we will suggest to quit smoking and include exercise, and improve the dietary patterns and to lose weight. Fourth is emphasize importance of maintaining blood pressure and heart rate. So for that, we can teach patient how to take his own BP and pulse during the activities if patient is feeling chest pain, and how to avoid take strain and take rest during that period. Last is emphasize when to seek help, like what are the signs and symptoms of the heart attack. For this we can teach patient to take the steps when the anginal attack occur. For example, patient can sedate that activity or to stop that activity for a while and keep a rescue NTG in hand. And patient can further include the relaxation techniques. Thank you.